Welcome everybody to the number one empathetic podcast in the world. I'm here with three experts about stages of culture shock. Estefania Gallegos, Polette Ruiz, and Jaquelinee Márquez. First, I'll start by explaining what is culture shock. Well, culture shock is not a medical term or a disease. It is simply a common way of describing the feelings of confusion and nervousness that a person may have after leaving a family culture for a new one. When you move to another place, you face a lot of challenges, man, which can be exciting and exhilarating, but also very overwhelming. You may feel sad, anxious, frustrated, and want to go home. This is what culture shock means. Let's start with a question for Polette. What problems could be caused by a rejection of differences and lack of tolerance?
Well, hi everyone. Getting to the question, I think that at the moment of leaving your country, looking for better opportunities in different places, you start feeling a lot of things. That is where the stages of cultural shock start hitting you. And being rejected just because of your differences would really affect you because you are not used to living in a different place away from friends, family, and even culture. Not being culturally aware would cause problems like depression and immigrants because they are being judged based on their beliefs. This is a clear example of miscommunication and application of prejudices and bias, which could come up with losing jobs, losing the energy for the studying and the learning, and even with considering the idea of going back to your place. We are all different, and I think that is wonderful because that way we can complement each other for getting a better result, and we create awareness of differences. The change is on us. We could all prevent these problems.
Definitely, some wise words. The change is on us. We are changed. We prevent these problems. Magnificent words from you. Now, Jacqueline, our expert, which negative emotions could be present when a person from a minority group is rejected or left out?
Okay, hi guys. Well, I'll start with an example first, like the story of the ugly duckling. This is how many people feel who consider themselves excluded from a certain social group with or without a justified reason.
Oh, ugly duck. Hadn't thought about that. And those emotions, how are they?
Okay, the emotions they present are anguish, anxiety, the feeling of loneliness, fear, rejection. Is some of the most common manifestations of feeling excluded. Big or small rejections affect us all. Rejection hurts, but it's impossible to avoid it completely. In fact, it will not be good to do so. People who are too afraid of rejection may not dare to try something they want.
Well, not even try? What advice would you give them?
Okay, well, let's start with the feeling. If you feel rejected, acknowledge it yourself. Don't try to ignore the pain or pretend it doesn't hurt. Instead of thinking, I shouldn't feel this way, think that it's normal to feel like you, given your situation.
Oh, great advice. Think that it's normal. Well, magnificent. Thank you a lot, Jacqueline. Now, Estefania, I have one last question. Which action did you take to avoid the above, even when you're not directly involved?
I think being aware of the situation that is going on, then taking note of the movements that are going on. For example, in 2020, when hate crimes rose with people of color, the movement Black Lives Matter was a platform to make other people aware and to have their voices heard. So basically, giving people a platform, but not taking it from them. Because sometimes in doing good, we end up doing bad, but also being empathetic of the people that are being affected. So that's a situation where we take into consideration the others people's emotions. Also making sure that we aren't contributing to the negative side, and knowing that if we are not affected by it directly, we can address the issues and situation, but not necessarily make it seem like we are being affected when our perspective comes from the outside. So in a quick summary, being aware, taking note of your privilege, making sure more people know about the situation of what's going on, also making sure that we are being empathetic and giving a platform for silenced voices to be heard. These are some actions that can help, but these are some that aren't really helping to make it worse. So for example, one of the situations that aren't really good or doing any good are comparing situations or making the problem seem like it's not important. Also making it seem like you're being affected, which makes the platform shift, and instead of really focusing on the real problem, it changes to another problem that isn't really affecting anyone. And when you stay silent about people being excluded from certain groups, it doesn't help the situation. It's better to get more people involved and knowing that it is not a good situation to do that. So yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, thank you a lot. Yeah, the big guy standing up for the little guy and showing the ropes. Telling the little guy, hey, if you do this, you can take care of yourself. Definitely. Those 3 points are very important. Thank you so much, experts, for everything. And one thing that the viewers can take from this is that don't be racist, basically. Take care of the minorities and others around. Thank you so much. Any last words? Estefania, Polette, Jaquelinee?
Well, thank you for having us here. It was really nice.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, everyone.
And we'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.